Hello and welcome to Magazine Builder Worlds. This is going to be B&B batch building build, if you like. I've done one of these before which kind of got a bit out of hand, but this time I haven't got time to waste. Yes, I know some of you definitely were expecting my next video to be back in the Big Meg with Judge Dredd stuff, but today is Saturday, March the 30th. In 2 weeks time exactly, actually in 2 weeks time exactly, I will probably be home from Salute 51. I'll be like sitting down on the sofa, but in 2 weeks time exactly it is Salute 51, and myself and my friends who dinner time. Myself and my friends who are getting ready for Salute, we'll be playing B&B at Salute, are nearly there. Last video, if you watched it, if you saw it, thanks for watching. I was really pleased the number of people watched that B&B video. If you saw my last video, it was the making of the Potter's house. Look like this. I'm going to try and make sure I put the photograph in with that, because I know I forgot to put a photograph in the last video. Last time, if you watched this, you would have not seen this photograph, which was the potential layout for the battlefield. We've made a few changes since then, and I'm working on a couple of things, and I need to get 2 different models made really blum and quick, effectively over the Easter weekend, which is already the end of Saturday. I've got Sunday, Monday to go, because, well, we've got 2 weeks to go, but I need to have them on the table for the middle of next week, because actually, for 4 days before Salute, I'm going to be in Venice. Woo! Researching for Carnivale. Or just having a Carnivale break with my wife, but researching for Carnivale. I have 2 buildings to make. One of them is going to be an interesting thing. The problem is, right, is I started making the Big Meg stuff, the Mega City 1 stuff is just over there and it's cool, and I'm definitely going to be doing that because I've got news about that. I'll tell you another time. And I've got a lot of kind of cool ideas for that, but you know what it's like. You start making one thing, you do one thing, and that just spawns a whole bunch of other ideas. My group, we're going to be playing a new campaign. There'll be a new campaign this year to follow on our War Bands of Luneden page on Facebook, which might even involve some bat reps and some other bits and pieces. It's going to be kind of like a different kind of B&B campaign, but based in Luneden, and I want to make some more buildings for that. And I got these kind of ideas. I want more regular homes and some industrial, more kind of like commercial kind of buildings. So I made the Potter's house, which is cool, and that spawned the idea of I want tanning pits, and I want a tannery, and I want night soil collectors, big wagons full of poo. One of the other things I want to build is a timber yard, actually this a cooper's yard, if you like, the way barrels are made. But if you take all the barrels out and put wheels in, it could be a wheelwright. So if you took all the wheels out and stuck bits of boat in, it becomes a boatwright. So it's going to be a wright's yard. It's going to involve a house, a fenced palisaded enclosure, and possibly a covered kind of like area for the craft beasts to work under. And then the other thing I need is some basic houses, which are going to be it's going to be the underwall terrace, because they're going to be right near the wall of Luneden. It's going to be a series of little houses for small creatures, 3 houses pretty much identical, all going together. So that's what we're going to build in this video. 2 lots of stuff all at the same time. I'm going to try and do it really quick as well. So I'm going to keep the narrative. I'll waffle about the narrative. If you watch the Potter's house build, most of the techniques are and stuff we're doing are exactly the same. So I'm not going to spend ages and ages explaining that. You want to know how I make B&B buildings, go and check that video out if you haven't already. If not, stick around. I'm going to talk to you about these bits and pieces and stuff. Right now, I'm going to go and have my dinner, and then I'm going to talk about the other bits. So if you are going to come and see us at Salute, make sure you get this video watched and come and try and spot these models on the table. It'll be really cool. Hang on to your hats. This is going to be a really quick build. Well, you know, I mean, I say that. I try and make short videos and quick videos and the rest of it. I watched some brilliant videos recently. A number of different guys making models, and they're cute, and they're kind of like 15, 20 minute videos. There's no talking, just cameras. It's all speeded up. It's great, and Clearly, I have way too much to talk about. However, so I don't know how long this video is going to be. Let's give it a go. Anyway, let's come over here and check it out. Come check out what we're making. Build I have to stop and show you this. Check this out. Must remember to actually put it in the video. This is my new Magriffia little cartoony picture of Fat Hobby Gandalf in his workshop, done for me by my mate Ben, who produced the original Diggy Through the Cack pic. This is to celebrate all things whimsical. For those of you who don't know, the Whimsy drinking game takes place whilst we watch these videos. Every time I say whimsy or whimsical, that's 4 times now, you have to take a drink of whatever drink you fancy. It might be tea, it might be Coke, other colas are available. It might be Cack Daniels or similar. That's entirely up to you. So it's very, very simple. But the important thing about this is the fact that this cool new cartoon I'm putting onto a t-shirt. You can find out about Magriffia merch. Look at me, ooh, merch, eh? Digging Through the Cack shirts, or Now That's Whimsy shirts from me, from Magriffia BuildingS. All the details can be found on my Facebook page. Go check them out. Right, where are we? Oh yes, building things. Come on, over here. Okay, so I've got 2 models I want to make. I want to make one which is going to be a couple of dwellings. It was going to be 3 originally. Originally I thought, can we see it on here? I thought of making 3 like little terrace dwellings. See if I can see that. Seems to be working out quite well. Then we're going to do this kind of thing. There we are. I was going to do that. That was my original plan. You know the deal. I'm going to have 3. Door there, door there, door there, one that, and then chimney. They won't be very big. They're going to be a terrace of row houses. Whoop, like that. But actually what's going to end up happening, he says, is I think I'm going to draw, I'm going to make 2 houses that are going to be, so it's going to be semi-detached cottages. Which are probably going to have there we go, how about that? So there we go, sketchy sketch. So 2 cottages side by side, 1 central chimney with a fireplace in it, lift off roofs, doors in the front rather in the ends, probably a window in the gable end on each side. This is going to be under wall row. They might have the potential to have do a couple more like that again in the future, because they'll make up kind of useful streets. And then I want to build this workshop. I want a timber yard, an industrial kind of site, which will be many different things depending on how I kind of like use scatter terrain on it, how I fill it out with detail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw very quickly on here. It's going to be a rectangular base, fairly long and not too wide. At one end there's going to be a dwelling, chimney on that, and then it will have a palisade wall all around it, and then I'm also thinking then of having a kind of like a freestanding workspace that's going to have roof, probably a big chimney there like that as well. Does that make sense? I have no idea if you need to fucking see this. So dwelling at this end here, this base might not be quite as large as that, but it's going to have a yard, fence around the outside, and I quite fancy a kind of like covered area. Originally my plan was to have it attached to the house, but I don't think I'm going to. Covered kind of like, so on stilts, roof, big chimney that could be used for a forge or whatever, but certainly working metal and that kind of thing there. And then you could have piles of kind of like wooden stuff around about the place. So this is going to be about 8 or 9 inches this way, and then probably about 12 inches over here. The house might shift over a little bit, probably only be 4 inches wide, give me about 8 inches that way there. So so there's quite a lot to be getting on with. I think I've got enough bit of this hardboard. I think this piece of hardboard should be enough to do both models. Roughly speaking, it is 9 inches wide, so that works, and it's got to be 2 foot across. So this model here is going to be, the houses will fit on a foot. In fact, I want them to fit on less than that. Well, they might be about 5 inches back to back, and then they can have a little back garden as well. So yeah, I'm going to make this bit, going to cut this bit off here, probably at 13 inches or 12. Oh fuck it, let's cut it at 12. That then sets the size of the model. This industrial build is going to be partly, will help delineate streets as well, because it's going to have nice fencing around the outside. So line down the middle, heavy duty Stanley blade. Oh, it needs changing. God, that's terrible. Yeah, can't get in it. Yeah, there we are. Remember kids, safety first. Change your blades. Sharp blades, much better than blunt blades. What the fuck is going on here? Ah, look at that. Oh, look at that. You can, this one you can do without having it over there. Nice. There we go. Bin that, that's rubbish. Broken at both ends, going to have an accident with that, so. Right, so there's both of these drawn out then. Here is the industrial yard, just about to see that. House over here, I've drawn on roughly where the fencing is going to go, and then here is the roofed workshop area. It's not going to have walls, it's going to be up on wooden stilts, so now it gives a bit of yard space here. And then this is a really simple one, because effectively this is house here, bit of pavement out the front maybe, but although I might shift it that way to have a bit of back garden here. So the label's still on that. So the next bit is that both of these models are going to build the house bits first. Going to do that exactly the same way as I did in the last building. That's going to use strips first of all of 10mm thick, inch high XPS foam. Ta-da! I'm going to take tin foil to that, rub it down like I've done before, and then we're going to texture it, draw the bricks on. Put all the brickwork in place. Then I'm going to make the upper sections and walls, the roofs, which is the gable ends and the roofs attached to them. I found, if you watched my last video, I talked about having this thing, which is my roof template, my gable template, which I'd lost. And whilst putting things away and tidying up, I found it. Yay! So what it's got is it's got different width gables on here. Can we see that closely? Yeah, you can just about see the lines on there, give me a different width flow. So this is here is a 4-inch wide gable. So I'll measure that there, put that on, do the thing. So yeah, what I need is tin foil. I don't know if we've got anything else. Could be an issue. Bugger. Okay, after a brief popping out to go get a bunch of tin foil, we need to take our, get out here, like a 10mm thick XPS. We need to get our sausage and bacon foil. And we need to start texturing this mother. These models, plural, really shouldn't take too long. But hey, who knows? So, gonna get on with this. Let's do some texturing. Put the faces to one side. And yeah, go. Here we go. So. I'm hoping that this piece of foam is going to do all the models. Okay, so let's texture both sides. I've textured both sides. I'm not going to do stonework on both sides because one side is going to be inside the building. Now the outside walls, the lower walls of these buildings are normally 1 inch high. Conveniently, my metal rule is 1 inch. So I'm going to cut basically strips of blue XPS foam. What I need? Well, I'm going to make. I don't think I've got it long enough to just match that up. Curses! I will have to cut individual bits. Oh, that's alright. Right, here we go. Cutting strips of foam. Knife, go. Right, so here's the lower walls and the chimney in for the yard, the timber yard, the Coopers, because that's his house. I'm going to go to there like that. Alright, now I'm going to do, put this to one side. I've got to do the same for the two cottages. Annoyingly, my bits aren't long enough to do one wall, but that's fine, so I'm going to do a central bit and then, yeah. So, cut a shape, I'll draw loads of stonework, it's the dull bit, isn't it? Stonework first, and stuff. And these are going to be a bit of a pain in the bum, because the, I need to have a central chimney. I need to find a big, some 25mm thick XPS, because I've run out. Damn, there's a trip out to the garage. And then the end walls are going to be solid and going to have the doors on each side, which is going to be a pain in the arse of the roof, but it will look pretty cool. So from that point of view, that's worth doing. So yeah, okay, let's do that. Yahoo! More brickwork. Anyway, chimney cut for the middle of the thing. Quite wide. Fireplace is cut in there, but it's kind of cool. Yeah, next bit. Where's the... Here's a thought, having done that, I wonder if it's going to be too big and broad for the roof. 4-inch wide roof. Oh no, it should be okay. Put that on there like that. Well, it's going to be hit and run. No, it should just about fit inside that. Well, what the hell. Let's see what happens. Okay, so here I am at the point where I've got the XPS foamwork done on both models. This is the house that's going to go on the wood yard, the Wright's Cooper's yard, straight up and down chimney made from 25mm thick XPS foam, 10mm XPS third foam, lower walls, all kind of like with brickwork all carved in. And then this is the pair of cottages with the central chimney. Again, 25mm XPS foam making the main chimney, but more of an interesting yet challenging shape to work with for the fireplace. I've cut the odd little niche in here, which is just out of interest to the fireplace to go in here. This side, I managed to find a little oven and fireplace made by Bad Squiddo Games. That sits nicely in there, so that kind of works quite well as well. So, right, that's where we are with those two models. The next bit then is going to be to put the stonework in the floor of these two houses, and then I need to do the roofs. So I'll be wielding my gable end template, cutting out the gable ends for 4-inch wide buildings. Both of these buildings are 4 inches wide, and then that way they'll be using foam core to make the gable ends, and we're going to use balsa wood to do the woodwork, the half timber stuff, just like we did on the last model. It's worth noting that I haven't decided what I'm doing with the end of this chimney yet. It's still all completely solid. This chimney, done a great big old space, not very efficient from a chimney point of view. This one, because it's got two different fireplaces, I might put a cap on that and then two flues on top of it. We'll see how that goes. That's a finishing off detail though. So cardboard next, cut up lots of little bits, cut into bits, stuck into the bases of these models. Right, stonework done. There we go. Stonework done on that one. In there, through the doors, out the other side. Now these are going to need wooden door frames, so the wall section will sit on it, and a window here. These low windows here aren't going to get a window frame as such. I might put a wooden trim around the bottom, but the whole idea is the roof's going to sit really low. They're quite low. If you take a small, what's that? That's a mouse. What's a B&B mouse? Check him out. From the new thing, that's high enough. This is a little low window there. So next bit then is gable ends. We need foam core for that mission. Gotta go find some foam core. Okay, don't know where it is. Must be over there, behind that stack of boxes. Okay, so got my foam core, got my template. This line here, we use just about to use my 4-inch line. 4 inches across there. So I'm going to basically place this on the bottom part of this foam core. I'm going to draw around it, cut it out. That should give me a gable end. I'm going to need effectively 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 6 of those. So let's cut into some foam core 2 ends. This is the gable end of the house. going to fit my balsa wood half timbers to it. Already got the curve in there. Gable in the house. That's a little bit wide. I didn't go on cut a plan, did it? Okay. Chop a bit of that off. Adjust that as we go. There we go, that'll do. So, going to make several more of those. This end of the Coopers, I am going to have to make, I'm going to make a middle one anyway, like I've done before, which I'll cut out, so I've only got roof bit, and then I'll cut one here that actually then just fits around the chimney, but I'll keep this part to help form the roof. Well, I'll cut a few more of those out. You don't need to watch me do that, do you? So that's the roof cut out, gable end stuck on there. I've got to do the woodwork on that. Now I'm going to work out the roof and how it's going to work for this. I've put those to one side. I'll come back to those later. Central chimneys always a bit of a pain in the bum when you're trying to make removable roofs. So I'm going to do the roof on this, I think, a slightly different way, which means that the model will work a little differently. What I'm going to do basically is but it will make it easy to fit the whole thing. I've got to work out my doors from a gable ends, got to stick in the wooden frames and that kind of thing. But then I'm going to stick the gable ends on, cut out the supporting beams to make the roof, but I'm going to fit a roof down permanently on one side and have one removable side, or bits of removable side, so I can get in to the model, but without taking the whole thing off, because it will just knacker the chimney. I don't want to do that, and it means I could do better stuff with the top of the chimney as well. So the first thing I have to do then is with door frames and window frames on the fronts of each house. Then I'll go to cut my gable ends, stick them permanently on, and I can stick a roof down one side, which will speed up the whole thing. Probably down the back of the house, of the front of the house removable. Doesn't really matter. It's not a huge space, but that way there. So each one of these models I've made seems to have a slightly different solution to the roof, depending on what it is. Some are just really easy, like the cottage I've just done and the one I did last time. This is a little more complicated because the central chimney, but a central chimney will look really cool, and it makes a lot of sense in a building like this to have a central fireplace which will warm, even if next door's fire's going and yours isn't, it will still warm your house a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. Wooden frames, windows, doors. Do that first. Gable ends are on. I put in these other supporting beams, and now I'm going to stick the roof in. What's kind of cool, I'm not going to bother fiddling around putting in a separate wall here to separate the two houses. We're just going to go a bit with a willing suspension disbelief. It's just too bloody fiddly for the amount of effort and the amount of use it's going to have and make a difference. So they're going to be really close neighbours. They're going to talk to each other through the hole in the wall. But that way there, that should be fine. This is the back of the house. This is where the two gardens are going to go. And you can just about see, I don't know how well we can see down there, the line of the chimney actually pretty much matches the line of the roof, which is neat because that means I'm going to be able going to cut one piece of cardboard. It's going to fit all the way along here. I'm going to be able to stick it to the beams. I'll pin it to the gable ends. I'll stick it to the beams here, but I'll also glue it and pin it to the chimney. So that'll really help hold it in place, which is kind of neat. And then what I'll probably do is on this side, stick a top piece on all the way across, and then have a bottom piece. So that will go across here, and then a bottom piece that will be removable so you can get inside the model. I'll see what that looks like. But first of all, so my next job is to cut the piece of wall, the piece of roof that goes across here. I'm not wooden framing these other little windows. I'm just assuming they're cut into the stonework. In fact, I need to detail those with stonework before I put the roof on it. Okay, classy roof for this one, because it's my Easter egg box. Waste not, want not. Bit of cutting the cardboard. We will make it fit. Thanks to the daughter and son-in-law for the lint gold bunny for Easter. I'm not a doer of Easter, but I do like eggs, so nom. Chocolate eggs, eh? Right, anyway, I've got to measure this and cut this stick up. Right, do it. Stick that on. Apart from the fact, function it up. I wanted my overhanging roof to overhang that end, and my overhanging roof is overhanging mostly this end. Bollocks! Oh well, I'm not going to have so much overhanging roof at that end, am I? God damn! Oh, well, let's hang a minute. Wait a minute. No, I haven't fucked it up. I'm not as much of an idiot as I thought. Because this bit is the bit where I cut it, and I cut it to fit on that side there. Yes, I'm not an idiot. It's in the wrong place though. Shit. Now it overhangs too much there, and it's not overhanging enough of that end. God damn. There we go, there's our one side of the roof stuck on real nice. Yeah, nice shape, I like this curved shape. Whimsical it is, whimsical. More knife blades. Knife blades. Okay. Right, here we go. Back to the whimsy. Just as an aside, I'm going to. They're going to have little gardens. They're not very wealthy homes, these, so they don't have huge plots of land. And I want this to butt up against the city wall. So from that point of view, it's only a little bit. But I'm going to use bits of citadel fence, wicket panels that are going to sit in here. That will then make a nice selection of bits of fencing. That's going to give me 2 back gardens, which is going to be kind of cool, and a bit of wicker work goes along the back there, and that way there I'll have a little bit of garden, and I'm going to put some vegetables and things in their back garden, that kind of thing, and a little fir wood pile and stuff, which we kind of cute. Okay, so here's my roof bit. I'm sticking in a minute, so it's got pins in it, but I've now got, as you can see, 4 beams that are all match the curve, and that is going to slot in under there when it's all tiled, and it's going to be hunky-dory, and they'll look lovely. So tiling is the next big job. Oh my god, I have to sit down and do a load of tiling, but fortunately that's a job I could do in front for a couple of hours in front of the TV, so that's cool. We're going to move into the house. Now what I do also need to do is do a pup date. My mate John Penny, hi John, said we haven't had a pup date for a little while. So while I let my whimsical roof dry, I'm going to go and take the camera off here. We're going to, not a pup date yet, but this is my come now office, come workspace. It's kind of cool. I like it. What have we got in here? Warhammer the Old World. From, I don't know, Fantasy Battle 4-ish, some other place that somebody else created. My favourite album cover of all time. Books, Wargaming rules, Viking arrows to do, books, more books. Printer over there in the corner, stacks of stuff, and my workspace over there, which is going to get bigger because I'm doing stuff, desk, stuff, mum's old Victorian desk. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So this is my office, which is out here, look, check it out. That was all the agony of January, and this is now the work office for everybody else. There, over here, this is where I have my high-powered business meetings, and then loads of deck. It's kind of cool. Skulls and pumpkins and stuff. Hello, Ludo. This is Ludo, everybody. And then over here, I'm just doing a update. In the darkness. Hello, Soki. Say hello to everybody. She's all chilling. And then they're on the floor. Chewbacca. Ooh, wanna be on telly, Dad? Stop it. Yes. There we are. Chew's now nearly 3. You are 2 and a bit, aren't you now? And the baby, she's 15 months, 16 months, I don't know. This is Ahsoka, giving some love. This is Chewbacca. Choo-choo. Big eyes. All dead. It's great living in Newfoundland. Under that lot, it's my wife. There she is. Give us a wave, Heidi. Yeah, there you go. Look. Yeah, that's Newfie life. All I did was come in and say hello, and the dogs got extremely jealous. So that is our pup date, everybody. There we are. Just about room on the sofa for all. It's the roofs on both done. This is the roof on the house for the carpenters, for the Coopers. I have only noticed last night when I was doing this though that I haven't done the timber work on here or on here. Not masses to do, only a bit around this side and there, and then that, but I need to do that before I can get on and do any more of that model. This is the
pair of houses now. Really pleased with this. I love tiling like this, it looks brilliant. It really does paint up really well and it looks really cool. God damn, it's still such a faff. Back of it, really lovely. Obviously it's all going to get painted. Front of it, yeah, it works quite well as well. There is a bit of a line here between where the roof slots in and slots out. This bit of roof, I stuck all the tiles on with Yoo-Hoo Bostik clear adhesive solvent based stuff, because using Mod Podge will make the whole thing warp and it won't fit properly then. I wanted to keep its shape, but the rest is all pretty cool. So that's quite neat now. That's how it looks with its roof like that. And then when I want to get inside the models, this bit is built to go up and slot in underneath. Just quite a neat solution. You get a tiny lift off the timber here, but nothing that is an eyesore is a problem when you're gaming. So now what I'm going to do with this model is I'm going to do this a bit back to front now, because I've got those bits of Citadel fence that I'm going to use, a Warhammer fence I'm going to use on here. Usually I've already painted them. I've mass painted a whole load of stuff the other night to go on the table at Salute, including these things. Usually I would stick these on and have them in situ, and then sand and do everything else, and then undercoat and paint. But I've painted these already pretty much, so I'm going to undercoat, prime the model, and then base it and do the other little details that way around. So this is going to go black now, is the next plan. Get on paint. It's Thursday morning. I want these on the table 7:30 this evening, and I'm about to go drive into South London for 2 or 3 hours, so I don't know where I'm going to get them all done. They might be only half done for this dry run tonight, we'll have to see. Certainly one done by the weekend, going to Venice next week, so from that point of view they need to be done very, very soon. There's not actually that much to do with this model now. Sand, paint, put fences on, a few gardeny details and stuff, but then that's there. And there's more work to be done on the Cooper's yard, because it still looks like this. It's mostly sand and put up a palisade fence, a gateway, and if I get the covered area, working area done, I do. If I don't, it'll just be a big yard, which won't look at all out of place and have barrels and wooden things stacked up in it. It'll be just be a timber yard, which is alright. And I'll get the covery bit up, but there'll be 2 nice bits of scenery on the table. Job done. Alright, where we got with this? Well, we had a quick stop because I made a video about things on fire. So how am I doing? Right, okay, so the 2 semi-detached houses, let's just take this out of the tray. I'm kind of doing alright with these. Where had we got to? We'd undercoated. You'd seen it undercoated, I think. I've started to paint. Yep, here we go. I wanted to get the stonework done because I wanted to add the sand in the gardens out the back and all around the bases. So these fences I'd already painted because I did a whole load of other stuff. Yeah, I want to stick them on. So I started to paint the stonework, and I now sanded the whole base, which is fine. So this is now really just a paint job away from being complete. In the gardens I've put some little raised mounds. You might be able to see them. Let's have a look. Not very well. Here and here, which is little bits of XPS foam that I've cut and shaped. They're raised beds because I'm going to put some crops in there, some plants, because, you know, we're going to add the whimsy to this, and this model is coming on really nicely. Like I said, really just a paint job away from being complete. Let's just put this sand back in there for a minute, because I'm not going to need that for this model for a little while. The Cooper's yard, the wood rights, the timber yard, whatever we want to call it. Essentially in my head it's a Cooper's yard, but it could be used for other things at a later date. Not doing quite so well. So I've still got to seal the model, which I could do in a minute, and I still need to build on here I've got my drawn on fence line, and I don't know if I'm going to get time to build the roof structure that I want to be able to have people working underneath. That's not super crucial. The crucial bit is to get the rest of it done. If I got the model sealed and the roof line on and everything sanded, I could paint it and it won't be too bad. I'm up against it time wise now, mind you, because I am going away for a few days next week. I really wanted to get this video completed by now. Right now I'm filming this little bit on Saturday. No, it's not, it's Friday. Friday the 3rd of April. Whatever. Oh, that sounds about right. What's the fucking date? Oh, 5th, Christ. Where's the tongue? So, yeah, so this bit of video is being filmed on the 5th of April. It's the 6th tomorrow, which is exactly 1 week to salute. And for 4 days next week, I'm going to be in Venice. Yeehaw! Which is great news, certainly for my Carnivale builds that are coming up. But I want to get this done before the end of the weekend. I want to get it done before the end of the day. I wanted this video up now, but that ain't happening. So I'm going to crack on with this. I had one of the guys around this afternoon. Actually, he was seeing my wife about some sewing stuff for his Viking gear, but Alex has cut loads of bits of palisade. Thanks, Alex! I'm now going to wheel the glue, stick my palisade on, and get that going. That's the most important bit of this model, because that needs to get stuck on, get dried, so I can do the next bit. So I'm going to take the roof off. I'm going to take loads of bits of palisade. They're all cut the right kind of height, and I'm going to start sticking them on. Whoops. So I can get this bit of the model done. Otherwise it ain't going to get completed. And as last night, Thursday night, we got together, I got the entire table out and worked out where this fitted. In fact, this piece of scenery is scheduled to be where I'm using, you just saw me use Gorilla Glue there to run this bit. This bit goes up against the wall of the building here, and I'm using Gorilla Glue for this one bit of palisade, because I can't use Bostik. I can't use the all-purpose glue because it will melt the polystyrene. Yeah, this building is going to be where the assassins start their run in scenario 2, Assassins. So it's pretty important this building gets finished. It takes up quite a big chunk down near the quay side. So I'm literally going to be taking each individual bit of palisade round wood, this stuff that I used last time in the Potters, exactly the same stuff, border roll that's cut all to the same length, and I'm going to make my palisade across the back of this here building. Right, well, my palisade's nearly there, kind of. It's just a bit wonky. Bored now. I saved myself a load of palisading by building this gateway. Got to be able to bring wagon loads of timber into your yard, haven't you? And I'm still in 2 minds as where I'm going to build this roof structure, and how I'm going to do it. In some ways, if I build it, it's just going to get in the way of gaming, because it would have to be solid. So I might put the odd little kind of like shelter in the side, and then leave the rest kind of open space, and that way it will give me options with scatter terrain. You know, I can have a small boat in there that I'm working, a boat writer's working on, or wheels, or barrels if it's a cooper's yard, or piles of wood stuff. So certainly for salute next week, the most important bit is the yard, because of course the important thing about the palisades, the fencing, the reason why I like doing this on these kind of models is that it helps to delineate streets. It takes up space. You don't just need buildings taking up space, you need space taking up space. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Don't know. But yeah, that kind of, I think that kind of makes sense. You know, there's a lot of negative space in towns, yards and alleys and that kind of thing. And it's really difficult to simply do alleys because one of the things that always intrigues me when I go to a place like London is the tiny little alleys that lead into old historical parts of the town and all the rest of it. It's kind of cool. They catch my imagination from a role-playing game point of view. Alleys are great. From a tabletop wargaming point of view, alleys are a pain in the neck because, you know, you can't put anything down. Especially this game when half the figures, or a lot of the figures we use are on 40mm and 50mm bases. The alleys are like small streets. So. Alright, making a gateway now to go in. Oh shit, just broke a bit. Making a gateway to go in here. Just working with balsa cardboard basically. I'm doing this so it could come out, which is probably a mistake, but I've cut a piece of cardboard that's just going to fit inside the door, and then I'm going to fit. So that'll sit there. And I'm going to have two gates that will be at a bit of an angle. Going to put cardboard banding on them to hold them together and also to make hinges. Easy peasy, nice little job, nice and effective. Palisade is done, which is all cool. It's good because I was really bored doing it. I'll leave that model now to completely dry. Fortunately, with an all-purpose adhesive, it doesn't take that long. Alright, that's the palisade done. I've actually done closed gates because I'm going to be able to take them out. And I've put a bar right across the back of the gates, which is brilliant, apart from I'm not quite sure how the guy who lives in the house is going to be able to bar the gate and then go out and go indoors at the end of the day. But after Salute, I might actually go back and do a bit of retrofit into this building and put another door with a kind of porchway here into the yard as well. Right, the structure on this model is pretty much done. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add one wooden beam across here to cover up this gap that I've got between the top of the door and that, because it's annoying me. Don't have to, but then I'm going to let this structure dry and then paint it. So I've got to let the palisade go off. I've also got to sand it. Palisade go off, and I've got to seal the XPS foam. Easy peasy. I'm not going to bother showing you that process. You've seen that 100 times before. Alright, so this one is now virtually done. Check it out. Look, there we go. It's interesting. I started editing and going back, and this is, my original plan, of course, was to have doors here out onto the street, and not in the end. It just makes the roof really fiddly. So, go for the easy option. Now, what I've got to do, left to do, is I've got to put some detail into the gardens. It needs tufts of grass and that kind of stuff around about the place. I'm probably going to end up with some crates of stuff stacked against the wall here to make it a little bit more interesting looking. The other thing I could do with this is take some of the offcuts from my palisade I was making earlier, make them into even more offcuts, and pile up a little pile of firewood round the back as well. In a corner, that'd be kind of cool. This slightly bigger garden is going to get cabbages, green and red, and maybe some corn. I don't know. and also a pile of logs. It's kind of cute, this bit. So, but then there's going to be enough room. There's move figures for it as well. So here we go. What we got? Green and red cabbages. These are kind of cute. There's one on the bottom. Grab that out for a start. And yeah, cool. The trick with this stuff is not to crush them, which is not what I'm doing a very good job at right now. Okay, here's the yard painted up. The house and yard next to it. Nothing here in a minute. What I'm going to do is, for the sake of getting this done and complete for this event, I'm now going to put some grass tufts and bits and pieces on, make it look like all the other bits, and then I'm going to call it done. I think I've got to finish painting the metalwork on the doors, but let's find some grassy tufts and plants and stuff, because they really do help to add, I think, to the overall feel of what we got. Okay, it's Sunday the 8th of April. Salute is now only 6 days away. And I've got about as much done as I'm going to with these 2 pieces of scenery. I'm actually pretty pleased. Let's have a look first of all. This is the pair of houses for Underwall Row. Back-to-back houses. Didn't quite turn out how I planned, of course, because they were going to have doors in the front, which ended up being a bit too fiddly, but I am very happy with these. So doors in the gable ends, stuff out on the street, door in this gable end here, really nice back gardens, enough room to move figures around in, but loads of details to be getting on with, and of course playable interior by removing this roof section, giving us that amount of space inside, which is still pretty cool. I'm happy with that. We'll have a closer look at that in a moment. And this is the Cooper's yard then. Now, house as we've seen before, with nice space indoors, removable roof, works quite well. Bit fiddly this one, because all the bits you have to fit it around. It goes back on, but that does actually help to hold it in place. I like that. The barrels in the yard here are completely removable, and then we've added some saucy posters there. We'll have a closer look to that, just to give it, these posters and plants and things always help to give these things a real extra kind of like lease of life. So this is a pretty ambitious build, and I've got about as much done as I reckon I can in the space of 8 days. Obviously work gets in the way and all kinds of things. They haven't actually taken that long to make. I've got it down now, this process of making this kind of building. Of course the fiddliest bit is making the roofs, especially as I still haven't come up with one definite way to do roofs. The roofs are all the same shape, but they all come apart in different ways so you can get into the buildings. I'm most pleased with Underwall Row here, this pair of houses. Really nice. There's a decent length of model which going to add a nice bit of street, nice and straight. Ordinary working beast homes. There could be, I've kind of like got some produce and bits and pieces outside this here, and this has got a slightly larger garden, so I kind of imagine maybe this beast, whoever lives here, sells more of their produce than the others. The back gardens I am well pleased with. That represents quite a lot of pennies worth of stuff going in there from a plant point of view, but there's a wide and interesting variety of things. And these workshop wicker, the workshop hurdles, cut up and used like that, have made really nice little
fence panels, so that works kind of well. And there's some lovely little details in there, beehive and tools lying around it. And I've imagined this broken wheel here being a gate. So I'm dead pleased with this. There's not a great deal more that I'd like to do to this model, to be honest. I could possibly go back and add some dormer windows, but it's not really necessary. It totally works for what it is, and I'm well pleased with it. The Cooper's yard. Let's do that. Come back here. The Cooper's yard I kind of see partly as a part failure. I have made everything I set out for, apart from this covered working area, which I still would really like to do. It's not going to happen. It's 1:20 on Sunday afternoon. Tomorrow morning at 3 o'clock we are leaving to go to Gatwick Airport to go to Venice for 3 or 4 days, not coming back till late Thursday night, so there's no way I've got time to build anything more. Friday I'll still be sorting out and packing things and tightening up bits and pieces and painting stuff. So I've failed to get my working area made on this, but I'm still really happy with this model. I like the big yard. It helps to delineate streets in the game. It takes up quite a lot of space, and there's loads of potential with it. And the fact that the gate is removable and all the barrels in here are just placed in there, just scattered terrain, means that this could easily be any kind of a house with a yard. I want it to be industrial. I want stuff to be going on there, but like I said earlier in the video, if I put a bunch of tools and wood and wheels in there, it's a wheelwrights. If I put a little rowing boat and planks and it's a shipwrights, that works perfectly well. It could be a cartwright, it could be all kinds of things. It could just be a house with a warehouse. That I've really liked, decided I'd add a bunch of posters to these walls here, because it helps to make the whole thing look a bit more lived in, like with plants. If you are a B&B player and you want to get B&B posters, check out the file sections on the B&B Facebook group. There are at least 2 sets of excellent posters made there. I think I might even have posted my ones. I've done some as well. Some of these are from the B&B group and some are mine. Yeah, it's still a nice little model. It comes apart well. It will make up a nice little bit of the street. This is where the assassins are starting their assassination attempt. On Saturday next week. That's scenario 2. Come and play assassins with us if you're coming to Salute. So, although I haven't got this covered area done, I am very pleased with this. It was ambitious to get all this done in the space of a week, especially with so many other things going on in my life. But yeah, done. Pleased. I'm happy. They're going to look great on the table. I'm really excited to get this B&B table together and put it out. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. It's the kind of table that will look great from a wargaming point of view, from actually people playing games point of view, but there's loads for model makers to come and just get up close and check out and have a closer look at. There's loads of little details, so that I'm very, very happy with that as well. So there we are. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you see this before Salute 51, and if you're coming to Salute 51, come along and say hello. Come along and check out the whimsy across the whole of our B&B Luneden game. There are different things going to be going on. We've got participation bits, and then there's a spectacle. It's not really a demo game because we won't really be playing it, but there's some really cool stuff there. So yeah, come and say hello to all the guys who game with me, the Magrathea guys. They're itching to run games for you, and we have a great time. Come and check out the whimsy, and have a great day. If you don't come to Salute, if you're not planning on coming to Salute, I am planning on first of all doing, of course, a Salute roundup, which will mostly feature this game, but I try and get out to the show and film other stuff as well. And I will probably make some bat reps of the 3 scenarios that we're going to play, because I think that'll be quite cool. So on a club night or 2, we'll get these set up and get our guys actually playing them and make some bat rep videos, which would be pretty neat. If you want to see bat reps, make a comment down below. If you like these videos and you think that there's I should have done stuff differently, or if you like the way I do stuff, if you don't like the way I do stuff,
comment down below. I love to engage with people who are watching my videos. It fascinates me that you guys are there and you're watching and you support. It's really, really cool. If you'd like to support this channel, then click like and subscribe and help the algorithm. If you really want to help this channel, you can do the thing at Patreon, patreon.com/MagnaTheaBuilderWorld. If you want to support this channel, you could buy a Now That's Whimsy t-shirt, or Dig It Through the Cack t-shirt. Details are available on my Facebook page at Magnathea Models. What else I've got to say? I haven't really. I've got to go pack because I'm going to Venice and I've got to go and make sure that all the right things are there that I need to survive the several days in the land of Carnivali. So I need to pack poison, pistols, swords. Actually, look at the weather forecast, I probably just need to pack a raincoat. But hey, what the hell. You guys have a brilliant time. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you at Salute 51 or on my next video, which is coming very soon. Thanks for watching Magnathea Builder World. I'll see you again.